And joining us in the studio, as Don mentioned, is the great Adam Graves. Adam, how you doing? Michael here and Don there.
It's always great to be on with you guys. I was watching there yesterday myself, so
cool.
Enjoy.
Did you like what you saw?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was trying to figure out, you guys in different frames there, but now I know.
All right, so Adam, the one thing that everybody's talking about is why the Rangers can't score in the power play. It's not just this series. They couldn't score in the power play scene when Tortorella was here. What is the deal? Is there something in the water at the Garden?
Well, it can be confusing at times because at different times this year the power play has been really good, and there's been stretches where the power play has been one of the best in the league. But I think when I look at the power play, and I looked at last game, and certainly you try to take positives out. Ultimately, it's about winning hockey games, and certainly didn't accomplish that the last couple games. But I thought out of the 5 power plays last in Game 3. I felt like they moved the puck around and they were getting some rubber on the net. Martin St. Louis hit the post, and there was good puck movement. I thought that Diaz, he was very noticeable on it. I thought he made some smart plays. He's the type of player that he knows where the puck's going before it's on his stick. But I'm a true believer, as much as the game's changed, and I love the game, that there's some things that don't change. And when the puck's not going in the net, you have to get dirty, you have to get it to the net, you have to get some ugly goals, you have to create traffic, you have to make it hard on the opposing team's goaltender. And I think when you look in a long time, and he's an elite goalie when he's playing that way. So when you have an elite goalie playing that way, you have to get in front of him. Right now, the puck is the size of a beach ball the last couple of games, and you have to get traffic so he's not seeing it.
See, this is what I don't understand, Adam, and I need you to explain it to me. You were a guy that would be able to do that, to try to get in front of the net. And back 20 years ago, Scott Stevens was going to take a cross-check to your forehead. All right, that was the price you had to pay for getting in front of the net. They don't have to pay a price anymore. The league doesn't allow you to do those things. They've got a free pass to get to the net. So why wouldn't you do it now when guys did it 10 years ago and it was much harder to do?
Well, certainly, and Kenny Danico might have had a better cross-check than Scott. But nevertheless, it certainly it was you paid a price to stand in front of the net. But when I look at the game now, some of the subtle changes, in fairness to guys standing in front of the net, and there's a lot more of those high tips where guys going in the middle of the box, and Crosby tried it last game. You see even double tips where they'll put a guy right in the center of the box and try to move it out and do things quicker because the game has changed. But one of the toughest parts is that the guys get in the lane so well now. And back in the day, that puck would come through all the time. But I think it's imperative, even from shots from the side, you need to create traffic. And you need to, because goaltenders are so good now, and they're so adept, and they move around the net so quickly, that if they see the puck and you're anywhere outside of 25 feet, they're going to stop it. Whether there's if there's no screen, they're going to stop it every time. And I don't care if it's a slap shot, a snap shot, the elite goalies are going to stop it. So you have to figure out ways to get traffic. And certainly when things aren't going your way, you have to simplify. It's all about probability. And the probability of having success is worrying about the process. And the process has to be a simple one.
We're talking with Adam Graves here on the Michael K. Show. Adam, are the Rangers down 2-1 in the series because they're fatigued, because they've played 5 games in 7 nights?
Well, I think, and I think you see that, if you want to look at different things and try to find reasons, you probably can. But this is a team with a lot of character. They have 4 solid lines, one of the if not the premier goaltender in the world, and they've really come a long way in a short period of time from their start early in the season, coming out of the gate. I think they play a different type of game now. It's more of a puck possession game. And I think that their style of play, that I really believe in the character of this team and how they're going to respond and how they're going to play in Game 4 and like most things, the farther you get into anything and the closer you get to your goal, it gets tougher and tougher. And this is a great test for them to bring out the best in them, and I think you're going to see that tonight.
What's going on in the mind right now of Rick Nash? 22 games as a Ranger in the postseason and just 1 goal?
Well, it affects all players at some point in their career and at different and regardless of how talented you are and how skilled you are. There's no question that he is an elite player, elite skilled player. He's been a tremendous player for a long time and a guy that cares and a great teammate. But there's always going to be times, because it's a humbling game, where maybe with the exception of Wayne Gretzky, who had 2,800 and something points, there's always been points where guys go into times when there's slumps in that. and certainly he's had his opportunities. He has to continue to get the puck on the net, and I think he's leading the league in playoff shots. But for me, I think he has to score that first one so the floodgates will open, because he's such a talented guy, and at different times he has the ability to take you out of your seat.
Do you believe, though, Adam, the power play and Nash not scoring, does it become a self-fulfilling prophecy where it becomes even harder to do that because now it's in the mind?
Yeah, without question, we all know that sport, so much of it, 80% of it, 90% of it is mental. And we think about the best players. Why are they the best players? Because they process the game and they have game awareness. Regardless of what sport it is, whether it's football, talk baseball, it doesn't matter. Hockey, because it's a fast-moving sport, maybe even more so, that anticipation and understanding the game and your awareness plays such an important part in that. And confidence to process things quicker. Sometimes when you're pressing, you at times do things that are uncharacteristic, and because there's the old saying, you squeeze the dust out of your stick, and the best players, when they're playing at their best, their hands are loose and they're making moves and they're trying different things, and sometimes when you're struggling, you don't try those extra moves because you don't have that confidence. And yes, it can weigh against you, but again, sometimes I believe that less is more, and you have to get back to the simple things and get as many pucks on the net as you can. Get to the net and get one of those ugly ones. And once that hope happens and forces the other team to open up, and I think in the second round they've said that with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 games out of the 12 that have been played so far, the team that scores the first goal wins.
Yeah.
So to get that first goal and force the other team to open up really allows you to play your game.